see everyone here tonight. We are pleased to celebrate some accomplished staff members and valued community partners tonight. We always look forward to evenings like this. Executive Director of Communications Danielle Clark will lead the recognition, and she is on her way to the microphone.
Thank you, Dr. Smizer, members of the board and community. This evening we're going to be honoring outstanding staff members as well as a wonderful community partner. So we're going to start with our community partner, which is the Center for Family Outreach. So Ms. Lori, would you like to come up and bring your board with you? So the Center for Family Outreach is a nonprofit organization here in town, and they do some amazing work with our students and our families. And as you know, every month we try and honor one of our great community partners and what they do in our community. So would you like to start?
First of all, I'd like to say thank you for Superintendent Smizer and the Board of Education for this outstanding recognition. It means a lot to us. We've been working very, very hard with a lot of your students, so thank you very much. I'd like to introduce some of the people who are on my Board of Directors and staff. Cathy Kipp is on my Board of Directors. Abby Strand is the President of my board. Mike Nastasia, SRO. Tom List, and then my staff member Rachel Kelly, Megan Barros, and Heidi Baracco. So thank you for this award. If I could just take a moment, because I know you're on a really tight schedule, but the Center for Family Outreach has been in business now for 18 years. And we have served over 25,000 youth and families, and we offer drug and alcohol, anger management, family support, therapy, all kinds of things at the center. We have about 78% of Poudre School District students, and 78% of them, or 19,500 of the ones that we serve for PSD, and we still have an 84% success rate. So our kids come to us from many, many levels, from law enforcement, from schools, from counselors, from all different parts of the community. And now we're doing an open referral process where parents are now coming to us for assistance with their students who are really struggling with mental health and substance abuse issues. So we work very diligently trying to keep the kids out of the court system. That's mainly what we're trying to do, and we do a very good job doing it. So thank you very much for your recognition. We appreciate it so much. You want to say anything, Abby? Kathy?
I would just say thank you for being such a good partner to work with our organization and to help our kids be successful.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
So as Lori mentioned, I do serve on the board for the Center for Family Outreach. It's a great group. They do a lot of wonderful things for kids. And one really cool thing about tonight is that tomorrow is their open house at 212 West Mountain, correct? And so between 3 and 6, if you want to go and stop by and look at their new facility and see what they're up to and ask about what they can do for kids, please go by and check them out, because they do wonderful, wonderful things with kids, and we thank you for being part of our community. And you guys get to do the Walk of Fame, so you're going to...
Oh, thank you so much. I'll let you go first. I have stuff. Should I give it to you? I'll take it. Thank you. Thank you.
It's all good. Yeah. So next we have our Miss Cathy Pencil. She is a counselor at Poudre High School, and Cassie was one of 6 finalists for National Counselor of the Year. And she is no stranger to being recognized here. So we have Miss Cathy McKay, who is the principal at Poudre High School, and we have Miss Cassie. And I think we have several of her students who are going to come up and who are going to say some things on her behalf.
Thank you, members of the board and Dr. Smizer, for this recognition of Cathy Pencil. We're so fortunate at Poudre High School to have the State Counselor of the Year and one of the 6 national finalists. Cassie has been instrumental in developing a dropout recovery program for Poudre High School known as Opportunities Unlimited. She was a state ICAP award winner. She's been also very essential in doing career exploration for students, and so she instituted career cabs among our counselors, so she got her little bus license to do that. And she's just one who just pours her heart and soul into kids, and I think you can tell that by the number of kids who are sitting in these seats who are here just to applaud her recognition. And so I could talk forever about her, but instead we'd like to have you hear from the kids that she's impacted. So I'm going to introduce Chloe Matsuda and Elin Carbajal.
Hello, my name is Chloe Matsuda. I'm a senior at Poudre, and I spent my first 2 years at Poudre avoiding Ponce at all costs. I made an effort to not make eye contact, and I avoided waving at her or visiting her in her office, but after a 2-week trip to Guatemala, I got to see how cool she was and how much of an amazing person she is. So over the years, Ponce has taught me a few things, but I'm just going to highlight a few of them. The first one is that hard conversations are always worth having. Whether it's with friends or teachers or family, Ponce has really helped me navigate that. She's given me a lot of great advice and a lot of great tips, and I know that I'm going to carry those not only throughout my high school career, but into college and when I move on to have my own career. The second one is that there's always time for adventure. Whether it's a quick trip to the dollar store or spending 2 weeks in another country or just trying something new, Ponce is always reminding me that there's time for fun and there's time for laughter. The next thing is going to be that there's something to be learned from every experience. As a high school student, I've done some things that I really did not want to do, and I was really like, oh, I really just want to quit. I want to give this up. Particularly a Spanish class that I was ready to drop after the first day, but she encouraged me to stick with it, and because of that, I'm now eligible to take a test to get a seal of biliteracy on my diploma. And the next one is there's never a wrong time to try something new. Ponce is always encouraging not only me, but her peers and her students to try something new, even though it may be uncomfortable and it may force us to experience something called vulnerability. So just recently we had our student lock-in, which was all the leadership groups. We spent the night at the school, and Ponce had us do things like eat bananas with mouth expanders and act out trying to explain what being colorblind is like to a colorblind person. So she's always just encouraging us to be creative and find new ways to navigate situations. And the last thing that she's taught me is the importance of asking for help. I obviously avoided her for the first 2 years because I didn't want to ask for help. I was super stubborn, and I had this mentality that I could do it on my own and I didn't need her help or anyone's help for that matter. But through working with her just as a counselor and a friend and a teacher for ambassadors, she's taught me the power of collaboration and how amazing things can come out of working with new people and experiencing their way of seeing things and their perspective. So with that being said, Ponce has definitely changed my life in an amazing way, and my favorite thing about her is her ability to connect with students and teachers and people that she's never met, and she's always making a conscious effort to get to know kids, just even beyond, hey, how are you? She knows their names, she knows something about them, and she can always make a great conversation. So thank you and congratulations.
Hi, my name is Elin Carbajal, and I just want to talk to you guys how CAS impacted my life. Well, I went to Poudre High School for 2 years, and then I decided I didn't want to study anymore, so I decided to drop out in May. And I worked in landscape for like the whole summer. And she called me one day. And she said, "Hey, there's this program that we came up with, and while we were thinking about it, I thought about you, and if you'd like to do it." And I said, "Yeah, sign me up for it." So we started talking about the program, what we were gonna do, and what it was for. It was the OU Opportunities Unlimited. She told me that it was for like kids that had dropped out or kids that weren't gonna graduate in time, and I said, "Yeah, I like that. I like that option. So let's do it." So I went back to school the next year. I studied the OU program. I got into college thanks to her, and I went to welding, studied welding, got my high set, and well, honestly, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be where I'm at without her because I ran into some problems with the law. Sergeant knows this, and I ran into some problems with the law, and she would always be there, talk to my parents, tell them. She would never give up on me, and honestly, she's probably one of the best counselors I have ever dealt with, and she always helped me out when I had problems. I'd go tell her, "Hey, I have a problem." She'd be like, "Yeah, tell me about it." She wouldn't be like, "Yeah, come back later, I have something to do." She'd be like, "Yeah, tell me about it. I don't have time, but you can still talk to me about it. We can make time." And I honestly thank her for being there for me the whole time. And she was always supportive. She never gave up on me. All the time that I didn't do my homework or something, and she'd see that I was failing, she'd see me in the hallway, she'd be like, "Hey, come here." She'd ask me what was going wrong or why I gave up on that. And honestly, I never had A's or B's. All I had was F's until I went to that program she was one of the people that made it. And after that, I had straight A's. I didn't ditch. I was doing good in school. Didn't run into the sergeant at all. And well, honestly, I thank her for being a counselor at Poudre High School, and she really did impact my life in a good way, and I appreciate that from her. Yeah.
It's a tough act to follow. Thank you, Board of Education. Thank you, Dr. Smizer. Thank you, Cathy, for your leadership and your continued support of school counseling. And of course, my biggest gratitude to you, Chloe, and to Elin for being here tonight. You make this work worth it, and you make it really, really fun. I'm inspired and I'm grateful for you both, and more so for the countless students that you represent. So thanks, crew, for being here tonight, too. I am honored to be here, and I'm grateful for your time in recognizing me and the important work of school counselors in our community and in our nation. It was incredibly humbling to be celebrated in Washington, D.C. last week. Former First Lady Michelle Obama at that celebration shared these important words. "Folks like these up here, you don't get dragged down by headlines, by false claims about our children or about our neighborhoods. You don't have time for that nonsense because you're out there doing the work. No matter what is going on right now, out there amidst all of the noise, you know that our young people are the future. The most important thing that we can do as individuals and as a nation is to believe in all of them, invest in all of them, and to build schools and communities that are worthy of their boundless promise." What a reminder to all of us, not just to school counselors or to educators or to Poudre High School or to Poudre School District, but the whole of the Fort Collins community and to our nation, to believe in our kids, to invest in them, and to continue to develop a community that is worthy of who they are and the potential that they have. Thank you again for this opportunity and honor.
I had prepared some remarks about Career Cab and some things about your students had said about you, but I think after listening to your students talk, I'm not going to read those, and instead I'm going to congratulate you on something that's a big value to the board, and that's connections. And it's obvious from listening to your students that you've had a profound effect on them, and that you take the responsibility of having a connection with your students seriously. And I would like to thank you for that from the bottom of my heart, and on behalf of the board for taking an interest in the students and taking the time to make a connection with them. Thank you.
Thanks for what you do, Cass. Thank you.
So after that, we now have several teachers, also again from Poudre High School, who have achieved something that is quite outstanding, and that is National Board Certification for the profession of teaching. So Ms. Haber, Assistant Superintendent of Student Achievement Haber, and Ms. McKay again, if you'd like to come up and introduce these wonderful staff members. I believe they are all math teachers at Poudre High School. No? Oh, we have one science. Okay.
Well, good evening, Poudre School District Board of Education. Tonight we have the distinct privilege of honoring our Poudre School District teachers who have earned the prestigious National Board Certification. This process was originally designed to develop, retain, and to recognize those teachers who are accomplished in their profession and to really generate continuous improvement in schools nationwide. National Board Certification is offered in 35 different areas, pre-K through 12th grade, and this process was actually designed by teachers for teachers and really is a consensus among teachers of what it means to be an accomplished teacher. National Board Certification is the highest mark of professional accomplishment, and really it's the nation's only advanced teaching credential that is offered nationwide for teachers K through 12. Basically, it's like earning a black belt in education because of the tremendous amount of time and effort and commitment, and I see they're shaking their heads, and discipline that it takes to complete this process. National Board Certification offers a national standards for evaluation, and teachers are required to complete a portfolio that includes an analysis of their teaching context and the needs of students, a strong command of content, the ability to design learning opportunities that advance student learning, the use of assessments to inform instruction, partnerships with colleagues, parents, and community members, a submission of videos of their teaching, and provision of student work samples that demonstrate student growth and achievement. And then they have to successfully pass a very rigorous exam in their content area. And the outcome is truly powerful teaching that increases student achievement and reflects college and career readiness. So now I'd like to recognize our three amazing teachers, all from Poudre High School, who have earned their National Board Certification. And first, I would like to recognize Alyssa Pitts, who earned her National Board Certification in Adolescence and Young Adulthood Mathematics. Alyssa. Second, I'd like to recognize Christine Bibby, who earned her National Board Certification in Adolescence and Young Adulthood Science with a concentration in physics. And last, third, I'd like to recognize Marcy Lewis, who earned her National Board Certification in Adolescence and Young Adulthood Mathematics. And Marcy would like to share with us a little bit about this process.
Alyssa and Christy and I just wanted to take the opportunity to thank you for the support that we've had along the way. And I recognize a few of you from parent-teacher conferences. We could tell you some stories about some of your kids, but that'll be a later date. Okay. Anyway, thank you to Vicki Thompson and Ginger Haber for putting together a meeting over 2 years ago to tell us about the national board process and to kind of warn us about how much work it would be. Felt a little bit like a boat race sometimes where we're just, paddling in place. But through that meeting, Alyssa, Christy, and I first learned about the national board process and heard about the rigors of it. And we did receive support from our administration along the way. The administration at Poudre would give us pockets of time to work on the process, such as during standardized testing when we weren't needed for proctoring. And then we also, because the three of us were working on it at the same time, we were able to read each other's work, give each other constructive feedback. So the process of getting our national board certification was different than earning a master's degree in that the certification directly impacts your current teaching practice. Whereas a master's courses can be somewhat theoretical, the national board process requires a teacher to plan for and reflect on their current students and on the best ways to instruct them. So that's one of the things that came out of it, was just being self-reflective and thinking about the students we have at the time and how to best meet their needs. So we believe that the certification was enriching and that we've grown as teachers because of our teamwork and the encouragement that we received along the way. So thank you to those that supported us in that.
And I want to say thank you so much as a board member, but also as a parent, first of all, for not sharing stories about students. My kiddos were lucky enough to have both of you for class, and so I know what awesome teachers you already were. So congratulations for, this is an above and beyond award. Congratulations to all of you. And yes, wonderful work. Thank you.